Hi, my name's Bob Urban. I've been a parishioner at St. Mary's for 7 or 8 years.
So, Bob, how long have you been praying the Liturgy of the Hours for?
About about 2 or 3 years. I I came across him by talking with fellow parishioner Bill Beach. We got to talking about it. I was interested in it just peripherally, and next thing you know, he came up with a set of the texts, the books, the liturgy texts, because he knows how to do it. So he gave me a little tutorial on how to do it, and I followed it for a while, but I started to get lost because it is a little complicated. And but I came across an app on my iPhone or my Android, and I've been listening to the app now for ever since, well, for the last 2 years or so. So I go. It has all the full series of, I guess, eight different segments of the liturgy, and I end up doing just the, well, I do the first two and then the last one. Before I get into bed at night, I do the evening prayer, or the night prayer rather. Uh, the others I do hit or miss, but I'm working to trying to get all of them every day. But I'm pretty regular on doing the invitatory and the office of readings, and then the night prayer.
So, how has praying the Divine Office transformed your faith life?
Well, every little bit helps. It's not, for me. It's not. I haven't seen any big revelations or anything, but every little bit helps, and I look at it as a guardrail going through the mountains, the mountainous road of life, and those cliffs are daunting, but it keeps me on track. So I know I've been reading a psalm a day for about 5 years now. Every day I just read one psalm, then the next day I read the next one, and that's sort of like I was thinking it's like a raw data dump. Whereas the liturgy of the hours takes those psalms and it processes them through the tradition of the church, so you get the benefit of other people adding their insights to everything, and it's a joy to just to read the psalms, pop up over again and again. Plus they throw in the thoughts of Saint Augustine, or today was Saint Clement, and so it's wonderful to hear the different traditions and the insights that other people had in the church. So,
Wow, that sounds amazing. So, what advice would you give to someone thinking about taking the seminar to learn how to pray the Liturgy of the Hours?
well, I think it's worth a try, and like I say, it could be daunting. I guess the priests are supposed to do this every day, but they're priests, right? So, but for us, lay people, uh, you take a little bit of time. Like I say, I don't do them all. There's 8 different segments, but like the invitatory today was 2 minutes. So you listen to that, and it gets you going. It's a psalm, and people sing usually, which is nice to hear a psalm sung. I think they're supposed to be sung, rather than just reading it. So if you get that app and you hit the button, it comes up while you're making your coffee in the morning. You could listen to it, and then the office of readings is a little more involved, but that could be maybe 15, 20 minutes. But still, it's not something that I sit down and listen to intently. There are times I do, but I'll do it like walking to church, walking to mass. I'll listen to office of readings, and my concentration may not be 100%, but at least it's getting there. The subconscious is picking it up, and it's amazing how, boy, you get these little nuggets once in a while, and it really hits you. So I think it's worth a try. You don't have to spend hours and hours on it, but I think it's worth going to this. I'm looking forward to it, because then I'm going to maybe try reading those books again, and getting a little more. Bill Beach was good, but maybe Father Joseph will help me out a little more.
I have no doubt he will. And the last question is, you had mentioned how prayer becomes like praise to you, especially through the Liturgy of the Hours. Do you find yourself praising God more often these days, you think, because of learning how to pray the Liturgy of the Hours?
Yeah, I do. Even to the point of realizing how important praise is. So that's one thing. Okay, you realize, well, I should be praising Him. Well, why? Well, it could be. Well, it's just when you come down to it, that's the only thing we can do. Everything else is sort of off the mark, missing the mark. So I think the Liturgy of the Hours is primarily, I think that was its purpose. I'm not sure, but I'll find out what Father Joseph has to say. But I think the idea of we should be praying constantly, unceasingly, right? And how do you do that, right? How do you do? Well, this sort of helps you out. Even like getting it into your head, some of these psalms, and maybe they're churning behind the scenes. We don't even realize it. But, so I think the praising God is that's where it's at. That's our task.